Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm playing along with Series 12 for Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches. This is the sketch by Melinda Sweetman for day 22, and it's an exclusive sketch. So those are the pictures I'm going to scrapbook today. They're of my oldest daughter. Last summer, she did summer school. So she did gym and COM, which is in Alberta, is a career and life management course. And so she did both of those during summer school last year. So these are pictures of her working out because we did it online. So yep, we did gym online for grade 10. And I say we because most days I came with her to the gym. So I'm just getting these set up. So those two cards are probably from Ali Edwards or Studio Calico, and I'm just going to back my pictures in just a little edge of black cardstock to make sure that they pop after I get all the layers on. I went and grabbed all the different scraps from my scrap bin. So the only things that are not going to be scraps on this page today are my white cardstock, and then I am going to border this at the end, but not yet. And so I'm just going to put this one on. The orange one says today's schedule, and the blue one looks kind of like a note page, and it says date on it, and it's just a spot for a little bit of journaling. And then I'm going to do a lot of cutting. So this page is from Photoplay, literally just a little scrap. And so I like the way that anchors. Matea's got a lot of black on. There's a little bit of orange in the background, but there's not a whole lot there. So I'm just going to try out a couple things. I'm trying to stay away from the green because if you've watched any of the process videos in the last few days, you know I've been in the green. So this page I actually did a little bit of fussy cutting out of, and so I'm going to try like this, and that's the edge piece. I thought it could go on, but it's not going to. Thought about that, it's not going to. That one's going to come back in a little bit later, so that one won't. So I decided just to get this black and white piece down, I'm just going to center it not vertically but horizontally. So it's a little higher than center, but that's okay. And then these are going to overlap, and those circles you won't see. So I'm just thinking about how I want it. So I want this Move acrylic from Ali Edwards to come on this page because I've hardly used any of them, and I have a lot of those kits. So I have a lot of acrylic titles I could use. So I'm just trying to make sure that these two pieces for this 6x6 match up. That was just a little much than I needed. I want it to be, that move to be backed with the flower so it doesn't get lost. And yes, it's a little crooked now, but after everything else gets put on, it doesn't matter. So it is what it is. So this is going to move up just a bit so that E can snuggle just right like that. I try that black piece a lot. The grays in it are just a little different than the grays in the checkered. So, and then this is a really thin piece of pattern paper. Like think late 90s when they were super thin, because this is when that paper is from, maybe early 2000s. Like this is an old piece of paper. So it came in a Princess Prince kit because that was the first princess or first scrapbook kit I bought was late 90s, early 2000s. But it's got the orange and the blue on it that I want. So I'm trying to stick with the black and white, gray, orange, and blue. So neutrals, orange and blue. There's a little more of that, more colors in the pattern paper with the flowers, but that's okay. And I ran out of glue, or out of my tape runner from my Tombow. So now I have to use glue. Actually noticed underneath my scissors there my scrapbook.com tape, so I do use that eventually. This is a scrap piece of gone. That was a Christmas piece of paper, but it wasn't quite the right blue. And this is that nautical one that's made it on a couple of my pages lately. It's going to get just the tiniest bit here. And in these tiny bits, you can't even tell that it's a nautical one. So it works great because we don't sail, being landlocked in Alberta. So trying to do that gray one again, looking at that one again. I do like this honeycomb, but I'm pretty sure I have a smaller piece. That's a piece of packaging that's not going to make it on. So I did have a smaller piece. This is just going to slide in like so. This ends up being a lot of vertical pieces this time around, but that's okay. I'm happy with it. I thought about putting another piece of that checker up top, but it's not going to happen. And I just cut that one piece in half instead of using both. These are dollar store tags, so I'm going to use one on one side, and I thought about using another one on the other side, but I'm going to trim this top because it's got all the yuckies on it from the glue that they put on it. And I'm going to decide, nope, I don't need that one. I don't need this one. I'm just going to cut this one in half because you only see part of it, and that's all good. Got a little crap on my page. It's actually glue from the tape runner. I don't know how I got glue on it, but and then this one's just going to slide in between here. I'm just going to make sure it's up just a little bit more than where it is. Just going to take an eraser and erase that off because that works sometimes. So then I grabbed this piece of ribbon from my stash. It's got a little bit of orange and blue on it, which goes with the colors that I already have on here. I'm just going to feed it through. I did staple that on, but I cut that out because I couldn't find my tiny attacher. So you just use my regular one. And then I'm just putting these enamel dots. They've got like fun little phrases and happy faces and a lightning bolt and that kind of stuff on it. So those are all going to go on in 3 different clusters just to be fun. And then, so there's like a couple happy faces. There's one that says yes and one that says no. In a second here, I like turn the no around because why not? Because then it says on because she was on. And then I do decide here now to double mat my layout. So I'm just going to trim off a bit, just trying to figure out how much because this recollections paper is actually a little bigger than 12 inches. So I'm like, that's not quite what I wanted. So I'm just making sure that it's about the same on either side with that white and just double checking how much I did take off so it can be square. And so it ends up being 11 and 3/8 inches or something like that. It's kind of funny. And then so my yellow one, my blue one, I'm going to gut those, which I don't make you watch, and it's going to go in that way. So this is just the last bit of it. I'm using my tear tape from scrapbook.com and get that top one on because then it adheres it where it needs to be, and then I can slide off the tape underneath and it just goes down nice and flat. And just scrunch up the edges here in just a couple spots. And then my journaling, and journaling just talks about how my oldest did CALM, which is Career and Life Management, which is like a health class in Alberta, and phys ed for summer school. And we went to the gym every day. So this is pictures of her at the gym every day, or 2 different days. And then one of those came off, so I'm just going to pop them over by the journaling because why not? And then that's where the no gets switched to on up top, and then the lightning bolt comes down here, and these are coming off, so I'm just going to use some glue really quick from my glue pen to get the ones that, and that one just doesn't want to stick put. And now that's my layout today. So thank you so much for watching. Here's some close-ups, and then there'll be some still close up here in a second too. And coming up, you'll see a subscribe and another video that you might appreciate watching. If you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it. If you have made it this far, please like it if you liked my video. I really appreciate you watching. Thanks again. Have a great day.